Hello everyone, the name of the subject is repair and rehabilitation of structure, and the topic is concrete and concrete testing of concrete. It is a part of unit 1 and lecture 5. So the objective of the subject is to understand the batching, mixing, placing and curing of concrete, and to understand the different testing of concrete in fresh and hardened state. So let us go for the introduction. Composite man-made material. Concrete is a composite man-made material and it is widely used. It is the second largest material which is used around the world. Consists of rationally chosen mixture of binding materials such as lime or cement, well graded, fine and coarse aggregate with water. The mix of sand, water and cement is called as matrix, or it is also in a local language known as mortar. Freshly mixed concrete is called as green concrete. After setting, it is called as set or hardened concrete. Major factors responsible for using cement concrete are moldability, easy hardening, early, high early compressive strength, and pumpability and durability. And concrete, as we know, it is versatile in nature. So the property of concrete is that it takes the shape of the mold. The mold can be circular, it can be rectangular, it can be trapezoidal. So it takes the shape of the mold. So concrete can be molded into any shape, any size, any uh, requirement which is needed by the customer. So again, homogeneous, it is a homogeneous mixture. So it is thoroughly mixed with concrete is thoroughly mixed with cement, fine aggregates, coarse aggregates and water. And it is thoroughly mixed and forms a uniform structure. So the coarse aggregate is also known as filler and it is an important part as it provides the maximum compressive strength. Fine aggregates fills up the voids between the paste and the coarse aggregate. So fine aggregates are sand, and it is an important ingredient. And it also fills up the space between the coarse aggregates. And as we know that the concrete is considered strong if there is minimum amount of voids. The cement is conjunction with water, which acts as binder. So cement, as we all know that it is binder, and when it combines with water, it undergoes a lot of chemical reaction, which results into the hardening of the concrete. So concrete has all the elements which actually work together to form a mixture, and it becomes like the cement acts as a binder, and it makes sure that all the elements such as fine aggregates and coarse aggregates get hardened in a state, and they are all adhered together, and the mobility of mixture is aided by cement paste, fine, and nowadays by use of admixtures. The main aim of quality control is to ensure the production of concrete is uniform strength from batch to batch. And usually, for getting accurate results, it is recommended to use ready mix concrete. So, let us study the classification on the basis of cementing material, perspective specification, that is mixed proportionate, and performance oriented specification. So, cementing material consists of either lime concrete, gypsum concrete, or cement concrete. As we know that if the binders are binder used in the concrete is lime, then it is called lime concrete. If the binder is gypsum, it is termed as gypsum concrete, and if the core binding element is cement, it is called as cement concrete. So mixed proportion, there are many mixed proportions, for example, M10, N15, M20, and M25. So these are the usually used form of concrete, which we use for general construction of residential and industrial buildings. Perspective characteristic strength is 10 kilonewton, 15 and 20 and 25. The performance-oriented specifications are design mix concrete. So the grade of concrete is understood by the compressive strength of the concrete cubes, that is 15, like 15, 150 mm at 28 days. Also classified as low strength, which is less than 20 Newton per mm square. Medium strength is considered to be 20 to 40 Newton per mm square, and high strength concrete is considered above 40 Newton per mm square. So there are different, as mentioned, there are different types of grades of concrete, starting from M5, M7.5, M10, M20, M25, M30, M35, M40, M50, M55. So the characteristic is exactly like that: 5 kilonewton per mm square, 7.5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 40, 45, 50, and 55. They are all respectively named as per M10, M15, M20, M25, M30, M40, M45, M50, and M55. And talking about the bulk density, there are different criteria, which is heavy, dense, lightweight, and extra lightweight. So we will all study about all these characteristics in the upcoming slides. So the placement also includes in situ and precast. So in situ refers to the casting of concrete when it is done in the area or in the site of construction, and precast is refer to the concrete structure uh, which is initially casted in a industry or a factory and then transported to the construction site where it is uh, placed at the construction place. And precast, in the precast structure, the construction is very fast, and for similar type of structure is usually done for precast, but the construction rate of construction is extremely high. Production. The stage of concrete productions are batching or measurement of the material, mixing, transportation, placing, compaction, curing, and finishing. So these are the this is dealt with the handling of concrete. So batching usually means about the measurement of aggregates, which is quite essential, and that is what gives you the grade of concrete. And with grade of concrete, the proportioning is a key ingredient, where for each strength we have a different proportion to which the cement, sand, and aggregates are added. Batching. For good quality concrete, proper and accurate quantity of all ingredients should be used. There are two methods of batching. You can see the first picture, where there is a mold to which the measurement is taken. One full layer of full level of cement, and two full level of sand, and three full level of coarse aggregate becomes concrete. It can be altered as per your gradations. If you want a higher grade of concrete, the proportion can be altered. The volume of batching, it is usually done for small jobs or small construction projects, or gauge box. Gauge box is nothing but the vessel which is used for the measurement of concrete. Weight batching. Weight batching is most important. It is usually done in industry. Ready-mix concrete plant is designed as per weight batching. Uh, it can be manual weighing, or also it can be weighed up by the machine. So there are automatic weighing batches. So these such batches are placed in ready-mix concrete plant, where the desired grade can be achieved by mechanical mixing, mechanical batching and mixing. So let's come to the mixing part. The objective of mixing is to make concrete mass, homogeneous and uniform in color and consistency. It is either done by hand or mixing. So for hand mixing, we usually prefer hand mixing for small jobs. Like there are minor requirement of minor casting of concrete. So in that case, it is done using hand mixing. Usually an employee, usually a labor is employed to mix the concrete at the site of construction, and and on impervious road. So usually we place a membrane or a sheet on top of which all the concrete is being mixed, and 10% of the cement is added in more quantity. So to achieve the desired grade, because it is mixed with hand, the proper mixing cannot be achieved. Whereas with machine mixing, you can achieve a good quality concrete mix, and it is quite important. Important to like if you want the quality for concrete and the grade of concrete to be achieved, it is quite essential for you to use machine mixing. So batch mixers and continuous mixers are a variant which is available. It can be either placed at the site of the construction, or it is either mixed and batched in a ready mix concrete plant. The batch mixers produce batch by batch with time intervals and used for small 7 medium size works. So usually, if the machine mixers are used in the construction site, again it is comparatively smaller. It is done for comparatively smaller projects, and continuous mixing of the concrete can be taken place after an interval of time, and after one batch, it can be prepared into many batches where you can achieve approximately same quality of concrete. The continuous mixtures produce concrete continuously and are used for large works like dams. So these are some of the mixing machines that we have. These are machine mixers, and they provide higher quality rather than the hand mix concrete. So you can see the truck that you see, which is in the third picture, is the truck for transportation of concrete from ready-mix concrete plant to the site of construction. So let's talk about the transportation. The transportation should be transported at the earliest without loss of homogeneity obtained by at the time of mixing. So we know that as the concrete is mixed with water and there is moisture available for the cement to uh, react with the chemicals, like undergo binding and adhering process, it is quite essential for you to transport the concrete as soon as possible at the site of construction. Segregation should not take place during transportation and placement. So, for during transportation, the truck that we previously saw in the third picture was usually used, where the rotating drum keeps the concrete in an agitated form, so that the concrete does not start to settle and set and form a hardened state. And there are different methods of transportation, which is mortar pan, wheelbarrow, chutes, dumpers, buckets, ropeway, belt conveyor, skip and hoist, and pumping. When we talk about pumping, segregation is a major problem, and segregation should not take place. With segregation, what happens if the concrete is placed from a very high height and it is dropped from a certain height, the cement and the aggregate particles separate, and it is recommended to pump the concrete and not make the concrete fall from a certain height. Placing. Concrete is placed on formwork. The formwork should be clean. If the concrete is to be placed for foundation, the soil bed should be compacted well and is made free from loose soil. So it is important that before placement of the foundation, we should take care of the soil, and taking care of the soil includes compaction so that it stands, the foundation, the concrete sets on a strong base where the soil is not loose. Concrete should be dropped at its final position as closely as possible. As we previously discussed, that if the concrete is dropped from a certain height, it can undergo segregation. If dropped from a height, the core segregate fall early than the mortar matrix. So the core segregate will get separated by the cement paste. This results in segregation into weaker concrete. Uh, Weaker concrete in the sense because the core segregate falls and it is not coated with the thick mortar paste. So what happens is that the aggregates do not adhere properly to each other, and it causes weakening of concrete, and it does not provide high compressive strength. So with compaction, in this process of placement, the air is entrapped. Okay, so it is quite essential for us to remove all these air, and because we know that these air pockets can cause weaker spots and can cause damage to the uh, concrete and result into extremely low compressive strength. The trapped air reduces the strength of the concrete by 30%. So you can see it is a drastic decrease in the strength. Hence, it is necessary to remove the air which is achieved by compaction. So removal of air is usually done using compaction. Compaction can be done in many ways. Either it can be done by hand or by vibrators. By hand, it means that a plunging agent is used wherein the concrete is blown by the plunger around 20 to 25 times at each area, and it can also be plunged by a plain flat plunger, or it is done by a vibrator. And nowadays the vibrators are maximally used, and the vibrators come in the form of needle vibrators. In hand compaction method, the concrete is compacted by ramming, and plungers, same thing, tapping or spading. The concrete can be compacted by using high frequency vibrator. The vibration reduces the friction between particles and set the motion of the particles. As a result, entrapped air is removed and the concrete is compacted. So when the air is removed, there is no weak points, weak spots where the compressive strength of the concrete can be reduced. So hence it is quite essential for us to remove all the air entrapped uh, voids. So and WC, which is water cement ratio, can be can be reduced with vibrators. So we know that if we add excessive amount of water can cause bleeding, and lesser amount of water can cause improper chemical reaction, improper setting of the cement. So it is quite essential to maintain water cement ratio, and with vibrators we can achieve maximum efficiency with less water cement ratio. uh, there are different types of vibrators which are used during construction. One is needle or immersion vibrators, surface vibrators, foam or shutter vibrators, and vibrating tables. So these are some of the vibrators which are used in the construction process. Curing may be defined as the process of maintaining satisfactory moisture and temperature conditions for freshly placed concrete for some specified time for proper hardening of concrete. So basically, it is done to remove the heat of hydration, as we know that if there is excessive heat of hydration inside the concrete, so there may be cracks produced inside the concrete. The curing in the early ages is very important, as Maximum amount of heat of hydration is released during the initial days. The curing for 14 days is extremely important because that is the duration when the concrete obtains almost 90% of the strength, and the remaining till 28 days it undergoes furthermore strengthening and increasing compressive strength. If the curing is not done properly, strength and durability of the concrete reduces. Cracks develop due to shrinkage. The crack is the main source of voids or joints where the uh, disturbance or weak spots have excessive which can cause excessive damage to the concrete. It can also be the source of water clogging. So, various methods of curing are spraying of water, which is done for walls and columns, etc., for all the vertical members. Gunny bags can also be used for vertical surfaces. It is usually done for columns so that the water can be retained on the surface of vertical surfaces for a very long time. Ponding, it is usually done for horizontal surfaces such as slabs and floors of stagnating water by stagnating water. So steam curing, it is innovative way of curing, and it is usually done in large structures. So in prefabricated structures, the steam is passed in closed chambers, accelerators during accelerates a curing process. So as we know that with steam curing, the strength can be achieved in a faster rate, and the concrete achieves its complete strength earlier than the compared like or the traditional way of curing. Curing compounds like chloride can also be used. So these are some form of curing practices that we practice in our constructions. You can see the first picture where a man is spraying water on all the vertical surfaces to provide water to the surface and release heat of hydration. In the second picture, we can see ponding where the water can be cured, can be stagnated, and this can help in curing all the horizontal surfaces. Just in case we have horizontal like vertical surfaces, it can also be covered with gunny picks, and the gunny picks can be sprayed with water so that the surface retains water for a very long time. So this is finishing where the surface of the concrete is smoothened out, and it gives you a very smooth and extremely neat co- concrete. Uh, This gives the final finish to the concrete, and the surface is completely smooth, plain, and very beautiful. Let us understand about the different properties of fresh concrete. Concrete has completely different properties when it comes to plastic state and when it is hardened. In plastic stage, it is also known as green concrete. Properties of green concretes include workability. Workability refers to ease with which the concrete can be fully compacted without segregation and bleeding. Depends on the quantity of water, grading, shape, and percentage of aggregates present. Second, segregation. The separation of coarse aggregates in green concrete is called as segregation. Happens due to deficient quantity of fine particles or throwing concrete from greater heights. Cohesiveness loss and honeycombing results, ultimately loss of strength. So we know that with segregation we can see cohesiveness lost, and there may be some honeycomb structures. Uh, honeycomb formation can be taken place into the structure of the construction. Bleeding. Bleeding means the appearance of water along with cement particles on the surface, which either runs through the gaps of the mold. due to excessive quantity of water or due to excessive compaction. So the result in pores are weak results in pores and weak concrete. So if the cement paste is totally washed away with water, obviously the coarse aggregate will not be properly coated with cement, which results into improper improper hardening and weak points where the deterioration or the demolition of the structure can take place. Hardness, resistance offered by the concrete to its surface finish. Difficult to get a smooth surface finish, the concrete becomes porous. Happens due to poorly graded aggregates and less fine aggregates or less cement mortar. The strength, compressive strength of 150 cube in 28 days, for example for M20, is minimum to be minimum to be used. The resistance to wear, so it is nothing but the abrasion that undergoes on the surface. Dimensional changes, which refers to concrete shrinks with age, approximately 0.003 of its original permanent dimension. Change due to loading over a long period is termed as creep. Durability, resistance to wear, chemical attacks, heat, freezing, thawing. Impermeability, resistance to concrete to the flow of water through its pore, and excess water results into pores. So the water cement ratio, let us understand what is water cement ratio. The water cement ratio is one of the major factors influencing the strength of concrete. It is responsible mainly for the porosity of hardened cement paste. Thus, theoretically, lower the water cement ratio means higher compressive strength as less voids are created. And to understand the definition of water cement ratio, is the water used for the quantum of cement in the mixture by weight. For proper workability, water cement ratio varies from 0.4 to 0.6. It may be noted that complete hydration of cement under controlled condition, the water requirement is about 38%, which is equal to 0.38. Uh, we have already discussed that if there is excessive water, if there is excessive water, it can lead to bleeding, and if there is a less amount of water, it can result into improper mixing of the cement particles and causing less chemical reactions. When it is decreased to less than 0.4, there is improper consistency and workability of cement, and honeycomb structure may result. Uh, it also means that because of honeycomb structure, what happens is it happens because the aggregates are separated. They get uh, fixed in the they get fixed in the bottom layer, and the cement paste, due to excessive water, the cement paste will float to the upper surface, and the lower surface will be only coarse aggregates, which will not be properly covered or coated with cement paste, so which results in honeycomb structure. Also, at the water cement ratio more than 0.6, porosity increases and the strength decreases. There are exceptions. However, concrete compacted by vibrator displays higher strength even up to water cement ratio of 0.3. So if we are compacting the concrete, the water cement ratio can also be reduced. So with the decrease in water cement ratio, we can achieve higher compressive strength. So let us talk about some of the tests of concrete. The test on concrete can be divided into the following lines. Test on fresh concrete, which is called walkability, and test on hardened concrete for hardened concrete, the most important tests are assessment of strength and concrete, which are assessed by the following tests. It can be compressive strength, flexural test, split tensile strength test, and non-destructive test. So these are all the important factors, and we have to understand that when the concrete is in its fresh state, there are different variables which has to be kept in mind, and the concrete for like concrete can be diagnosed for all the uh, problems just before hardening, and workability, slump tests, all those tests can be performed so that the concrete can um, can be predicted for excessive strength uh, just before hardening itself. And after hardening, it is quite essential to check if the concrete has achieved its maximum strength. So it can be either done with compressive strength, in which a mold of 150 mm is 150 cube is used, where the concrete is poured and the concrete sample is set to harden, and the cast, like the mold, is removed, and that cube is compressed under compression machine, and the compressive strength is achieved. Similarly, for flexural, the mold is uh, is tested using flexural testing machine, where the flexural test of the cube can be achieved. For split tensile strength, Uh, similarly, for splitting of the tensile strength, the mold is uh, fixed in the split tensile testing machine, and the tensile force is exerted, and the uh, area or the splitting strength of the concrete is noted. Whereas non-destructive test refers to the test where the construction of the building has already taken place and the structure has been formed. We don't have any molds, and the testing of strength can be done using some methods which can result into which results into uh, not damaging the existing structure but still achieving the strength which is required for the concrete. Let us move forward to some of the questions. What is C31 test under standard 80 test method? So the first option is test method of making and curing concrete test specimens in the field. So second option is test method for compressive strength of cylindrical specimen. We can also use cube as well as cylindrical specimen. The third test method for unit weight, yield and air content, gravimetric of concrete. And the fourth option is test method for slump of hydraulic cement concrete. So we understand this is an important question, and the answer is A, which refers to test method for making and curing concrete test specimens in the field. So, during the casting of the concrete, a small sample or small section of the existing concrete is taken taken, and the specimen is set in a mold of 150 mm cube, and the mold is again tested into a lab, where it is taken into lab, and it undergoes a lot of tests to understand the final strength it has achieved during controlled environment. So the explanation is according to the standard ASTM test method to evaluate field placed concrete. C31 test is for test method for making and curing concrete test specimens in the field. What C39 test under the standard ASTM method? So in that, the first option is test method for making and curing concrete test specimen in the field. test method for compressive strength of cylindrical specimen, and third, test method of unit weight, yield and air content, gravimetric of concrete. Gravimetry can also be measured using X-rays, where the internal structure of the concrete can be achieved. Test method of slump of hydraulic cement concrete, and the answer for this is B, which is test method of compressive strength of cylindrical specimen. In this, according to standard 80 ASTM method, uh, to evaluate field placed concrete, C39 test is for test method of compressive strength of the cylindrical specimen. So C31 was for square or rectangular specimen, whereas C39 is for spherical specimen. So, as per what is C138 test under standard ASTM method. So, again, test method for making and curing concrete test specimen in the field. Second, test method for compressive strength of cylindrical specimen. Test method for unit weight, yield and air content, gravimetric of concrete. Test method for slump of hydraulic cement concrete. So the answer is C, which refers to test method for unit weight, yield and air content, gravimetric of concrete. So the explanation is according to the standard ASTM method to evaluate field placed concrete. C138 is the test for test method of unit weight, yield, air content, which is gravimetric of concrete. So in this test, we understand about the unit weight of the concrete, the yield which is produced, and the air content. We know that air content is quite essential for our understanding because if there are voids inside the concrete, it is considered as the weak points where the compressive strength is extremely low. Fourth, as per C143 test under standard ASTM test method, the options are the test method for making and curing concrete test specimens in the field, test method for compressive strength of cylindrical specimen, test method for unit weight, yield and air content of concrete, test method for slump of hydraulic cement concrete. According to standard ASTM method, to evaluate field placed concrete, C143 test is for test method for slump and hydraulic cement concrete. What is C172 test under standard ASTM test method? So, the test method for sampling fresh mixed concrete, test method for air content of freshly mixed concrete by the volumetric method. Third, the test method for air content of freshly mixed concrete by pressure method. The test method for pressure of freshly mixed Portland cement concrete. So the answer is A, and the explanation is according to standard ASTM test methods to evaluate field placed concrete. C172 test is for test method for sampling of freshly mixed concrete. What C173 test under a standard ASTM method stands for? Test method for sampling of fresh concrete, test method for air content of freshly mixed concrete by volumetric method, test method for air content of freshly mixed concrete by the pressure method, test method for temperature of freshly mixed Portland cement concrete. So the explanation, the correct answer is B, and the explanation for it is according to the standard ASTM test method to evaluate field placed concrete. C173 test is for air content of freshly mixed concrete by volumetric method. What is C1064 test under the standard ASTM method? So these are some of the most important and most crucial tests which we perform. So the options are test method for sampling fresh mixed concrete, B. Test method for air content of freshly mixed concrete by volumetric method. Third, test mixed for air content of freshly mixed concrete by pressure method. And the fourth is test method for temperature of freshly mixed Portland cement concrete. So the answer is D, and the explanation is according to the standard ASTM method to evaluate field place concrete. The C1064 test is to test the temperature of freshly mixed Portland cement concrete. As we know that due to the chemical reaction, the temperature changes, and the temperature change can cause a lot of heat of hydration, which can affect the cracking in concrete, which can cause cracking in concrete, and it has to be taken care of. So these are the tests which are extremely important to understand the temperature while the fresh mixed Portland cement concrete is placed into the construction mold. Uh, Generally, what is water cement ratio? So the options are 0.25, 0.5, 0.75, and 1. So the answer is B. The explanation is that the water cement ratio is between 0.42 to 0.5, and if it exceeds this, creates pores in the concrete. So the pores can be created due to bleeding or formation of honeycomb patches in the construction structure, and those areas are considered as the joints of weak spots where the excessive loading can cause the demolition of the structure. So let us understand what is silica fumes. So silica fume is first option, less reactive, it's neutral, more reactive, absent in concrete. So the answer is C, which is more reactive. So the explanation is one of the most beneficial uses of silica fume in the concrete is because it has both property, and it is a very reactive pozzolana. Pozzolana is nothing but fly ash, which is produced in thermal plants, and thermal plants, these are excessively harmful in the if released in the environment. But when it is mixed with the pozzolana, is mixed with the concrete, it can be used to achieve higher strength, and this can result into uh, much more like voids can be properly removed, as the pozzolana are very fine talcum-like sized materials which can further reduce the micro voids which are present in between the cement paste. So uh, a silica can be used for the initial start of the chemical reactions, and it is a core ingredient in the concrete. So, but excessive use of silica can also result into excessive heat of hydration, which can cause a lot of cracking on the surface of the concrete, and these cracks can lead to the deterioration of the concrete structure. So, some precautions can be taken, whereas it can also be mixed with admixtures. And admixtures are added so that, first of all, the admixtures are added so that the water cement ratio can be maintained, and desirable problematic scenarios where the concrete either undergoes uneven hardening can also be reduced. uh, Admixtures have other properties as well, which uh, can be treated or used when necessary at times. So these are some of the reference books which are extremely highly recommended for the subject. Uh, Thank you.